In the heart of the savannah, where the rising sun kissed golden fields, there lived a diligent Hausa farmer named Malam Buba. Known for his vast farm of millet and groundnuts, Buba's hard work was his pride and his family's hope. For years, he had toiled under the scorching sun, his hands calloused but his spirit resilient. One fateful evening, while inspecting his crops, a distant rumble interrupted the tranquility. The ground trembled as a herd of cattle stormed into his farm, their sharp hooves ripping through his crops like a storm. The herdsmen, armed and indifferent, directed the animals deeper into the fields. "Stop! Wallahi, stop!" Buba shouted, his voice cracking with desperation. But his pleas fell on deaf ears. By dawn, his once thriving farm was a wasteland. The millet stalks lay flattened, and the groundnuts were uprooted. Heartbroken, Buba went to the palace of the Saken Zozo, the king of their land, to seek justice. The grand hall was packed with people, the air heavy with the scent of incense. When Buba knelt before the king, he recounted his ordeal, his voice trembling with a mixture of anger and sorrow. "Your Majesty, my farm is my life. The herdsmen have destroyed everything. I beg for justice," Buba pleaded, tears streaming down his weathered face. The king, seated on his gilded throne, stroked his green beard and glanced at his counselors. Among them sat a powerful herdsman leader, his eyes cold and calculating. The silence in the room was deafening as the king finally spoke. "Malam Buba," he began, his tone heavy with indifference, "the herdsmen are our brothers. They, too, must survive. Perhaps you should learn to share the land." Buba's heart sank. "But, Your Majesty, what of my family? How will we eat? How will we live?" The king waved his hand dismissively. "The decision is final. Go home, Buba." As Buba left the palace, humiliation and rage boiled within him. Villagers whispered and avoided his gaze, their own fears of retribution silencing them. That night, Buba sat in his ruined farm under the moonlit sky, his hands clutching the soil that had once been his pride. He vowed silently, not to the king or the herdsmen, but to the land itself. "I will rise again," he whispered. Months later, whispers began to spread across the land. Buba had rebuilt his farm in a secret valley, far from the reach of the herdsmen. And as the rains returned, so did his hope. His resilience became a legend, a symbol of the unyielding spirit of the farmer who refused to let injustice bury his dreams. And so, in the heart of the savannah, Buba's story lived on, a reminder that the strength of the land is mirrored in the strength of its people.
Please subscribe, follow, and share.